talk a little bit about British silver coins today for Silver History Sunday. I did a video a little while ago talking about the different conversions between shillings, florins, crowns, and pence and stuff like that, and I'll revisit some of those terms today because they'll become a little bit relevant. The first thing about British coins is that they vary drastically in silver content as history progressed, much like they do here in the United States, where we went from 90% silver to 40% silver to 0% silver. The same kind of thing happened in British history as well. The term British pound, though, is actually slang for pound sterling, which is the true term, the true currency, pound sterling. It's exactly what it sounds like. Coins used to be minted out of sterling silver. The phrase pound sterling came from these little Saxon coins called sterlings. 240 of those would take an entire pound of sterling silver to create, and thus the term pound sterling was invented to describe larger payments. It is often debated how the word sterling was created, but many people believe that the Old English word stiora was given the suffix ling in order to mean little star or sterling. This is the opinion I like the most, although it's hotly debated, but I like it because it represents how beautiful and exciting silver can really be. The pound sterling is the oldest currency still in use today. This shows how often currencies fail. In all honesty, it's remarkable that it still exists, or the dollar or the euro for that matter. The average life expectancy of a currency is only 27 years, with the oldest example being the pound sterling, which has been alive for 323 years now, and the shortest currency lifetime being less than a month. What makes the pound sterling such a strong fiat system, though, is because it was founded off of real money, sterling silver. As time goes on, though, the silver content has been reduced in this currency system. It started out as being defined as 12 ounces of silver. 1 pound sterling was 12 ounces of silver. And it was eventually reduced to 50% silver coinage, and now it contains 0% silver. I have an example here of a half crown. This one is dated 1889, and it contains Victoria's angry face on it. Maybe she was angry because she knew her currency would lose over 99.5% of its value in the upcoming century. Or maybe she was upset because it would be reduced to 50% half crown like this one on King George V. This one's 50% because it was minted after 1920, and it only contains, obviously, 50% silver and a lot of manganese. And manganese, when it tones, causes a really dark coloration to happen. And so that's how you can kind of tell if it's a manganese coin or maybe even a copper coin due to the type of toning it has. Then in 1947, all British coins stopped using silver altogether, with the exception of some Mondi coinage, which was back to the pre-1920 sterling silver purity. I don't have any of those to show you though. You may have noticed that Queen Victoria is looking the same way as these two gentlemen, but maybe you've seen some British coins where the monarch is facing the opposite direction. Well, this is because every monarch since the 17th century switches directions. So Victoria is facing left, and that means Edward VII must have been facing right. And then George V was next, so he's facing left again. But then there was George VI. Shouldn't he be facing right? Well, in between the Georges there was Edward VIII. He was also facing left, though, because he was a rebel and insisted that his left side was his best side. But he abdicated anyways to marry a woman that would cause much controversy in the political space, so none of his coins were ever circulated, and this made him one of the shortest living monarchs in British history. But his younger brother here, George VI, took the throne, and he decided to face left as well, to continue the tradition as if Edward VIII would have been facing right. Kind of confusing, but interesting nonetheless. Basically what we have here is left, right with Edward VII, left, should have been right with Edward VIII, and then left again. I'd like to wrap this up by showing a few coins. There are different denominations, but they look very similar, and this is because the coinage used a funky monetary system based off of fractions of 1 pound sterling, so they were more like weights. The half crown here, the half crown is 1/8 of a pound sterling, so there were 4 crowns in a pound. And then what's this one? This is a 2 shilling, so this was 1/10 of a pound sterling, a 2 shilling. This is 1 florin, and this was also 1/10 of a pound sterling. So the 1 florin and the 2 shilling are actually equivalent. And they're both a little bit smaller in size and in weight and silver content than the half crown is, because these are only 1/10 of a pound, whereas this is 1/8 of a pound. I got a few more to show. I like to collect these. I don't have any full-size crowns, but I do like to collect the smaller ones. The full-size ones carry a tremendous premium on them, but a lot of the 50% stuff you can get close to spot, because one, there's so many of them, and two, they're really gross and ugly because of their manganese content. I have a little fun fact while I wrap this up, and that is that starting with Henry II, sterling silver was chose over a higher purity silver. So they used to use a little bit higher purity silver, but they chose sterling to keep the coins more durable and to keep clipping to a minimum. So people couldn't just rub the sides of these off and clip silver off, spend it, and still have some leftover silver. The increased durability made clipping a lot harder, and it's also why this reeded edge is so important. If this reeded edge weren't reeded like that, you could easily tell if somebody shaved off edges to steal some of the silver. Yeah, this was just kind of a way to keep the clever tricksters at bay and make their clipping a little bit less easy, was by using some sterling silver. And actually, in one point in British history, it became so bad that they actually recalled all of the coins and had to all of the hammer pressed coins and had to reissue them, because none of them could be trusted to contain the amount of silver that they said they would. Please let me know if I've messed anything up here, because I'd love to learn from you guys. Did I miss anything? I obviously left out the gold parts because this is a Silver History Sunday, but maybe the gold information will be fun too if you guys want to share your knowledge in the comments section below. I appreciate you all watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks again for all the support recently. We just hit 1,000 subs. I'm ecstatic about that, and I will I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.